The threat landscape has evolved dramatically over the last few years. The criminals and the terrorists and the nation states are after something new. It's not just about stealing money and credit cards and high volume, low dollar amount kinds of things. They're after intellectual property.
Just yesterday, we learned that CareFirst, a Blue Cross Blue Shield healthcare plan, has been hacked with a data breach potentially affecting 1.1 million customers. That's the third major health insurer this year to announce it's been hacked. 3 huge data breaches in a single industry, and those are just the ones we know about. No wonder cybersecurity has become one of the hottest themes around, which brings me to FireEye, F-E-Y-E. That's a major online security player with a machine-based platform that provides real-time threat protection to major enterprises and governments against the most sophisticated types of cyber attacks. Plus, the company's also well-known forensic specialists. They're the guy you call in after you've been hacked, figure out what the heck happened. In fact, they were the ones who detected the breach at CareFirst. Now, this stock has been on a bit of a roller coaster ride since it came public a little more than a year and a half ago. FireEye came public at 20, roared right out of the gate, closing at 36, first day of trading. Then surged to 95 over the next 6 months. But, and this is something I warned you about at the time, after 6 months, the lockup on insider selling expired. Stock did get crushed by a tsunami of new supply, but that's the old days. Since then, FireEye has been rebounding nicely. This company has now put up a string of excellent results, including the terrific beat it reported 3 weeks ago. Stock's now up more than 35% year to date. I think that's totally given, because the company's got red-hot 69.5% revenue growth. FireEye may not yet be profitable, but the company's growing like crazy and is part of one of the hottest groups out there. So can the stock keep running? Let's take a closer look with Dave DeWalt. He's the chairman and CEO of FireEye, as well as being the former CEO of McAfee, who made his shareholders a killing when he sold the company back to Intel back in 2011. Mr. DeWalt, welcome to Mad Money.
Right.
Good to see you, sir.
Thanks for having me. Awesome.
Oh, absolutely. Have a seat. Now, when I saw it, picked up the paper, and I saw this deal, please have a seat. CareFirst, I just said, well, obviously, got to be FireEye, and it was.
It was. Yes.
So tell me your role. What did you do?
Well, we've been helping a lot of companies with cyber breaches over the last few years. We acquired Mandiant, as you might remember, a year ago, and we've been dealing with hundreds of incident responses over this period of time. And CareFirst, much like you mentioned, Cramer and Anthem were the other ones. Are having a lot of challenges of late, just because a lot of attackers are very interested in healthcare information. And of course, this involved over 1 million consumers. And we went and helped them. And just yesterday and today, they announced their breach. So we're there to help them as a trusted advisor and relationship.
And big retailers?
Yeah, retailers, same way.
You get a Target, a Home Depot?
Yeah, and many others. This has been a bit of an epidemic across a lot of industries, Jim, and healthcare's one, retail's another, the media industry's been another, financial services, across the board, Sony.
These are all FireEye involvement. Yeah. Now, what I'm thinking about is that we're to the point where if I want insurance, I understand that I have to kind of have a FireEye in. In other words, that people just are presuming that you've got to be involved before they'll even protect you from an insurance perspective.
Yeah, and that's what we've been doing lately. We've been partnering with the insurance industry, and I think it's about time. We've needed this. The insurance industry is starting to look at the risk related to cyber, and they're realizing, post-Target, post-JP Morgan and Home Depot and all the ones you mentioned, this is a big problem. This is a pandemic around the world. We got to figure out how to indemnify them, underwrite them. And so for the first time, a cybersecurity company has partnered with Marsh and with Ace Insurance, and soon to be more, about how to indemnify and underwrite the risk related to cyber, and it's a good thing for our business.
And you were the first company to be basically anointed by Department of Homeland Security. And what does that mean for you?
Yeah, so we won a very sort of prestigious certification, and this post 9/11, we had what was called the Safety Act. The Safety Act was there from the Homeland Security to help protect critical infrastructure consumers. We're the first cybersecurity company to get the highest level of certification. And what it does is allows companies who use our product to basically be indemnified against legal costs related to being breached. So if you use FireEye's product, you basically are prevented from being sued in the criminal justice system in America, which can save a lot of money.
None of the other guys have that.
Nobody else has it. It took us 18 months to get it. It was quite the process, a lot of checking, and we're really pleased and honored to have it.
All right, let me ask you, obviously, you guys are just pulling in business left and right, and every time there's a breach, forget it. But in terms of you have a slide path to profitability, you're talking a couple of years out before you can be profitable. And your operating cash flow was negative this quarter. Are these things that basically planned, so to speak, because you're growing your revenue so fast you can't think about it? Or is that not where you want to be, right? You want to be profitable faster and just don't have that opportunity yet?
Well, Jim, we see a huge market opportunity. I mean, you can tell how white hot the cybersecurity market is. I mean, everything's getting connected, everything's online, more and more mobile devices, more and more endpoints. So we see a very large market opportunity. This company went from, when I joined, less than 50 million of business. We 10x the company in less than 3 years. So we see market share is really important. Growth is important. We now have 7 quarters in a row of growth and acceleration.
Yes,
so we're
absolutely.
getting to profitability, and we're working on that. And to your point, last quarter, we were just $3 million negative on cash flow. The quarter before that, just $200,000. So we're not burning very much cash now, and we're really driving towards profitability, pretty certain.
Okay, the other day on the Cisco call, John Chambers was asked directly, basically, are you in talks with FireEye? Why are you always rumored to be in talks with someone? I mean, it sounds like you're growing the business. You're a young guy. I mean, is it because you sold McAfee once? I mean, why is FireEye not being viewed as an entity to itself?
I'm not sure why those rumors are there, but we're an important company, Jim. I think, as the next generation leader in security and how fast we're growing and how much we're disrupting the market, there's a lot of interest in FireEye right now, and that's a good thing. But, I see a great path for this company to grow organically. You've seen that 100+% growth, and you got to do what's right for the shareholders, and we are, and we're growing like crazy.
Last question. I don't want to scare us, but is there some new form of cyber threat right now that's on your radar screen that we don't know yet? Some new warfare?
We've seen a lot of them. I mean, if you look over the last year, we went from what we just call hacktivism and crime to now heavy espionage. This past year, we started to see sabotage and even terrorism. The Sony case was a good example where people are actually trying to hurt companies, release information, embarrass them. So as the world's geopolitical climate changes and all this superpower chess going on, we're sort of finding that, America's a bit vulnerable to these attacks, and one of those variabilities is embarrassment and releasing information, and so...
Well, companies got to step up. Companies have to step up and start taking this much more seriously. That's Dave DeWalt, the chairman and CEO of FireEye. Boy, they have a ton of business. And unfortunately, they have a ton of business because there's nothing we seem to be able to stop, but maybe we can do some prevention. Mad Money's back into the Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.